What's up, YouTube? It's me, artisanmc, and today I binged on Danny Deckchair from 2003. Now, this movie always comes back to me at weird times, but being that it's Labor Day and not a Sunday, I felt the need to do a binge because I haven't done one in a while. And one of the movies that came back to me was Danny Deckchair. Now, I saw this movie on cable the first time. It was a little bit after 2003. And it stars Reese Ifans, who you may better know as the Lizard from the Spider-Man movies, or Otto Hightower in House of Dragon. And Miranda Otto, who you may know from the two Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers. She was the Horse Lord who killed the King of the Nazgul. And what you have in this story is Reese Ifans' character of Nanny Morgan is a cement truck driver, bricklayer. And he's been dozing off for weeks at work because he's just thinking about going on a long holiday, which is a vacation, because this story happens in Australia. So some of the terms and stuff used are English, not American English, but European English style. And he's waiting for the long weekend because he's looking to take a trip and go camping with his girlfriend, Trudy. And his girlfriend, Trudy, is kind of a real estate agent, and she has made a connection with the sports anchor, Sandy Upman. And because he's close to celebrity, she is really enthralled in all this. And because Sandy, she showed him some properties and he left his glasses, he's going to come back to her to get his glasses. And when he does, Trudy sets up this whole thing with him to take him out to show him some more properties and have lunch and do this other stuff. But she sets up this time on the same day that she's supposed to go on the long weekend with Danny. And Danny does not know this. Now, while Danny is home excited for his long weekend, he's a blue-collar guy. He's looking forward to, 2 weeks off or whatever. He finds out that Trudy can't go. She has to work because her boss is going out of town. And so Danny is kind of crushed. And what it is with Danny is, Danny in some senses is a dreamer. He always has crazy ideas and wants to do oddball stuff for the people that he is friends with in his friend group. He is the weird one. He is the odd duck, right? Because he always has these harebrained schemes or experiments and stuff like that he wants to try. So when he finds out that his plans for the long weekend are just kind of trashed because his girlfriend is going to be working, he's stuck at home for half that time and is just climbing the walls. Now, Trudy conspires with her friend, which is her friend and co-worker, which is Danny's co-worker's friend's girlfriend, that they're just going to throw a barbecue and maybe that'll cheer Danny up. Now, while Danny feels obligated to have this barbecue, while picking up beer, he passes like a hobby store or something, and something catches his eye in there. And by the time he comes back from this run to get the food and stuff like that for this barbecue, he's came back with 6 canisters of helium and a box of these big ass balloons that he got from the hobby store that his friend, old classmate that he had made that were wrong. We had the wrong name on them and stuff. So during this barbecue and him finding out that Trudy had basically lied to him about the long weekend, he figures he's just going to do something just to entertain himself. And what he plans to do is see if these balloons can lift him off the ground by inflating them with helium and tying them to what is called a deck chair, which would just be like a folding chair that you have by the pool or something, just to see if he can get off the ground with it. He doesn't think it'll work, but he just wants to try it because that's what he does. He tries crazy stuff sometimes. Well, he does get up. He does get up. And he is lifted up and ends up flying far away from where he is, where his home is outside of Sydney, way north into Australia, and ends up crash landing in a town called Clarence. And where he crash lands is in the backyard of a woman named Glenda, played by Miranda Otto. And because he comes down in a fiery crash, everybody in the town rushes over to Glenda's house, and Glenda passes him off as an old college professor who has stopped by, because most people don't really know Glenda, don't really, I guess, like her. They thought they saw something crash over in that direction, but it's like, no, this is my friend, and one of your fireworks that they were letting off in town landed in her tree. And she starts passing Danny off as her old professor from college. Now, Glenda is doing this just to shoo people away and to let people know that she's not, alone or lonely or anything like that. Because Glenda in this town is the odd one. She is the odd one in this town. That this is a small town, everybody pretty much knows each other and stuff like that, but some people don't like her because Glenda is the meter maid, or what they call in Australia the traffic warden. So she gives them tickets on their cars, and they don't like her because of that. Small town. But through the course of small town gossip of everybody like, oh, did you hear that Glenda has a man at her house? Oh, there's a man. I didn't know that. They kind of lean into it and play it up, and the town accepts Danny as this professor. And you see what happens when you are removed from a place and get set down in a new location, and people actually start to listen to you. They actually start to take you serious. What you say is serious. Now, I'm not going to tell you the whole movie because it's a Sunday binge. I want to tell you enough to get you to watch the movie yourself. And it's free. You can find it on YouTube to watch. You can find it on Tubi. Free to watch, with or without commercials. But one of the things that Danny had said before he came up to Clarence as a way to get business up was to have a pancake breakfast. And his friend back near Sydney thought he was just crazy, just being a jokester, right? Well, in Clarence, when everybody believes he's a professor, and some of the town socialites who are running for mayor talk to him and talking about having a hard time, getting people out to vote for him, and he suggests a pancake breakfast, they actually take him seriously. And they actually do what he suggests. and it goes well. Now, while Danny is missing, nobody in Sydney knows where the hell he is. He just disappeared. He went up in the middle of a barbecue with all his friends and stuff like that and disappeared over the city. Nobody knows where the hell he is. He flew into a storm and disappeared. So there's a lot of hoopla kicked up in his area with the new lot of attention being focused on his girlfriend that he left in Sydney, Trudy, who was really, scheming on the news guy. Well, this very same news guy sees his opportunity to get that promotion he's been looking for, to get away from doing sports and become a national anchor. So he uses his connection with Trudy to give her a personal report for the station and garners all this attention for her. And she loves this shit. She eats it up. She is enjoying this time that Danny has been away, which has at this point been a couple days. And all this attention that it has garnered her. She actually gets to be close to the sports guy, Sandy Upman, and they end up getting kind of involved. Now, up north, where Danny is, he and Glenda start to get involved. And you see how sometimes it takes freak things, freak occurrences, for you to end up where you're supposed to be, to get you to a place where you can find people who actually resonate with you. This is one of the reasons why I love this movie, and I've seen it so many times, because it taps into that spirit of getting away and finding the place where you belong. And at the very least, finding somebody who resonates with you and who you are. Now, it's a short movie. The time that Danny is away is probably about a week. During his long weekend, he's gone for about a week. Just missing. But eventually, the rest of, Sydney finds out where he is. And they come up there to bring him back to his life near Sydney. And you see how he adjusts to that shift from going from a place where nobody took him seriously to getting to a place where everyone took him seriously, to then drag him back to where nobody really took him seriously, and finding out what changed in him and why it changed in him. What did it change in him? I think it's a good movie for self-discovery and learning that sometimes you need to follow your instincts, your gut, and go where you are appreciated and where you feel you fit. We talk about it in the Black Manosphere all the time, is that you need to find your tribe. And part of finding your tribe is getting away from the place that you are and going wherever that needs to be for you, wherever your heart tells you you want to go. Wherever your desires lead, that's where you should probably be going. And I think that's a good message. I mean, I get a little melancholy on Labor Day for some reason or another. I don't know. But this movie came back to me and it really resonated with me again. So with that, I would recommend you guys give a watch if you have time. Check out Danny Deckchair from 2003, starring Reese Ifans and Miranda Otto. I've been artisanmc. And I will see you next time I have time to binge. Peace.